Well, I think I would be remiss at not acknowledging the depth of the anniversary and the name of this classic and the perspective that we know. We got to go to the 9/11 Museum yesterday and just to just acknowledge the incredible people that have lost their lives, who are fighting for things as a ramification of 9/11, and just all that going into remembering is. And so just want to say that we are humbled and we are honored to be a part of something that honors such a significant event. So I did want to say that. It's such a mixed bag for me right now. Really proud of some areas of our team that really stepped up and fought and grew. And then, really frustrated with those inches kind of plays that are under your control that you let slip away. And the pain of regret is no fun. And so, but it's only redemptive is if it changes you, if it creates new habits, if it shows you what you can become and what it takes to actually go to where you want to go. And, it's really a mixed bag. I'm really proud of these two young women right here. They've just been leading us incredibly well. They've been growing every single day, and they've been really facing adversity head on. So, really appreciative of the experience to be here, but we didn't come here for moral victories. We just didn't. Those days are past for UCLA basketball. We came here to compete to win. And so obviously we're really disappointed. And I think we showed some great growth, but bottom line is we didn't come here for a moral victory, so we really got to face the pain of what made this game slip through the cracks. So credit to UConn and how they responded and how they punched back, but we will grow from this, and we'll look back on this event and how we feel right now, and we will give it credit for the new habits it forms in us and gets us ready for Pac-12 play. Yeah, I kept going. I think that, I'm not sure. I think they are really good at knowing who they are and when they're at their best. So we really knew they wanted to play through the paint. They're shooting in the 70s when they get the ball to the paint, whether it be off a post-up, a back cut, dribble penetration. They're very efficient there. And when we were efficient to take that away, we forced further shots. Then we controlled the rebounds. And they just keep at it. And then all of a sudden, you have one little play where they get behind you on a back cut, and then it's an and one. Or they get the ball in transition, and Westbrook gets all the way to the basket. It's just those little small plays. And I think they're relentless of playing to their identity. And I thought that in that middle, when we go back and look at the film, we're going to see that, they hit some jumpers, but we can adjust to that. I thought there were some key ones from Dorka, and obviously, I thought Liv hit a couple too. That I thought made us sort of come away from the basket a little bit more. But I think they were relentless on getting on the offensive glass and getting paint touches. And in that period of time, we didn't stop that. And we also let the offensive frustration, we made plenty of shots. Coach Tony on my staff did a great job in the locker room talking about our shooting was pretty consistent. But we let some frustrations really distract us mentally from our game plan, and we just didn't execute our game plan with elite consistency. I think in order to play and win these games, you got to do the simplest of things with elite consistency, and we had some lapses we got to take responsibility for. Well, we're actually both in very similar situations. We've had a ton of. Our roster doesn't look exactly the way we thought it would at this time, and neither does theirs. They still got a lot of really, really good players. So I don't feel really sorry for them, to be really honest with you about that. And, I think we're going through the same things. We have really good players, too. They have still really good players, and both programs are trying to adjust to that. I have a great relationship with Coach Auriemma, and I have tons of respect for him, and I knew those kids are going to respond. We knew that. But we're responding, and we're finding our identity, and we're stepping up. And, I have tons of respect for UConn, but this was about us. And I wasn't going to make it about UConn. This is about us playing to our best. And they had a few more possessions where they played to their identity than we played to ours. A work in progress, honestly. But I think, we got to play through these two early on, and that doesn't mean they have to put the whole team on their shoulders. It means that we got to have purpose in how we get them different kinds of shots, different driving lanes. I really thought the game was going to be a lot of the Westbrook-Williams versus, Penn Osborne matchup, but I think our identity needs to be playing through the paint first. We shot way too many threes, to be honest with you, in the first half. 18 threes is way too many, as good as we shoot it. I thought we rushed some. We need to have better purpose together, but we got to play through the paint, and we've got to do a better job consistently on defense, controlling. Our rebounding's got to get better, and that needs to be our identity. It just isn't yet. Mm-hmm.
I think that, at least for Evina, I think she was really getting out in transition, and that was one of our keys, transition defense, and she's really good at pushing the tempo in that, and I think that was kind of getting her set up. And then we just needed to make adjustments as she started to hit more shots earlier. And then for Dorka, I wasn't really guarding her as much.
Yeah, but Dorka's, just to help her with that, she hit a couple jumpers, but that's not where she inserted her will on the game. 16 rebounds, that's where she asserted her will in the game. So I don't think it was how we guarded Dorka. I thought we did that fine. We didn't keep Dorka off the boards, and credit to her, but 16 rebounds was an absolute difference maker in the second half, and credit to her. And she's relentless. Coach Tony was very clear on that in the scouting report about how relentless she is on the glass, and that she lived that out.
I would say just as a leader, just leading by example. Like, we have that poise, and to just get the team down, they can look to us and see, like, don't get the emotions too high. Like, let's do our job and let's execute what we have to do. It just comes down to execution, really, executing in those tight moments, having the discipline to do your job in those crucial moments.
Yeah, and I think we've been doing a lot of mental training. So we all have, like, a reset routine, and I was trying to implement that in my routine and then trying to bring others along with me. But like Jaelynn said, it's all about executing, and we believed at the end that we could actually come back, and I'm sure that Jaelynn didn't doubt it as well. And we made a couple of mistakes at the end, but really it's about just executing. Yeah, I think I'm a little bit more used to it because last year we didn't have as many players. But it can be really hard just because we do have so many great players that are out. But I think that we're fine with what we have, and we were clearly able to come out here and play really hard and do things that we were supposed to do. And obviously we didn't get the outcome that we wanted, but what we have is enough. And obviously when we come back and get other players, that's going to be great, and we'll become an even better team. But honestly, we're not really focused on who we don't have at the moment. We're really just trying to focus on who we have and trying to grow with that.
Yeah. Well, boxing out on free throws, those are a big thing for me, because there's a pause, right? So that you always have a chance to reset your mind and go, hey, what do I have to do? And so there's never an excuse for me to lose focus on those kinds of things. Having 3 out of the 5 people being really focused on what we were trying to get out of execution on offense, and then having 1 or 2 people forget. Not do just what Charisma said about, everybody being responsible to do their job. Maybe it was Jaelynn said that, but I think that everybody for a higher percentage of the time. And, I think that it doesn't matter. I always think that performance equals potential minus interferences. And in that moment, what kept you from doing your job, right? What kept you? Was it not playing through fatigue? Was it a bad call by a ref? Was it, missing your previous shot? And then you got to take responsibility for that. And you got to learn how to stop those things from becoming interferences, from you doing your job on the next play. And we call it next play speed. You just have to have mental next play speed. And we missed opportunities to, I think we always say the tougher, more together team wins. And we had possessions where maybe had 3 people that were really tough. I thought Chantel Horvat showed a lot of toughness. She's really, I think, given us great belief in leadership. But people have to come together with that and play together. We have to play better together than we have as individual pieces. And I think we had possessions where we went into islands. And as soon as you go into an island and you're playing one-on-one, you're not the tougher, more together team. And I think we'll look back and go, hey, there's a dozen possessions where we did not do the disciplined, simple things with consistency that lead us to being the tougher, more together team that possession. And, it could be a screen, not second cutting out of a screen, not understanding what we're trying to look for in our game plan, not turning your head quick enough on the back cut that we knew was coming every time. Those little things. That's this game. I know it's a very cliche, but it is so much a game of inches. And you have to be so on top of the inches you can control, because sometimes you can't control. Thank you. I think that you can be patient in some areas. Chemistry is an evolving thing. Understanding hey, where does Jaelynn really like that pass? Or, how can we keep, these two are elite defenders, and we've made some changes on how to learn that chemistry things. I can be really patient with those things. Those take time. But where I think you need very little patience to get tougher, to box out every time, to not allow yourself to get boxed out, to set a great screen for someone else, to win every 50-50. I think there should be, as a leader, very little patience for things that we know are under your control and that you can do to help our team win possessions. And we need 5 people just completely locked into those things. And before any injuries, we had 8 new players this year that were not on our roster last year. So that was already going to be in play. That was going to be an evolving process that I think there needs to be some patience in the chemistry side. But I really actually think that my bigger challenge as a coach is to not lower the bar 1 ounce on the things under our control. And if I'm being really candid, we haven't responded as quickly as we need to in those areas. I think we could be tougher at this time of year. Can't do anything about that, but I can do something about this kind of pain right now, teaching our hearts better, and me holding that standard even stronger. Do I need to go here to these? Thank you all for being here too. We really appreciate you covering our game.
Thank you.
You bet. Zoom people.